Hello, welcome to another episode of the Mindful Introvert podcast. I'm Joe, and I help busy go getters avoid burnout by creating a more peaceful life through meditation and unconscious reprogramming. And today's episode is all about the power of validating your own thoughts and your own feelings. So, if you're interested in knowing more about this topic, stick around. So, the power of validating our own thoughts and feelings. You know what? We tend to do a lot of people pleasing, and we tend to look up to other people a lot and wait for their approval, wait for their validation, and just wait for their opinion as well. And it's really impacting our life in a negative way because we start to second guess ourselves, we start to have a lot of self-doubt, and it's almost like we are unsure of ourselves and we are unsure of how good we are to decide for ourselves and how good is our opinion. How good is it compared to other people? And we get into this loop of overthinking and then lack of confidence, and it's almost like we are relying on other people to go forward with life. And this is very exhausting because we stop ourselves, we play ourselves small, and we do all of this mostly because we are afraid, and a lot of it is because we want to fit in. And today I can talk a little bit about an experience that I had today. I went to this webinar, and it was all about stress and stress in the pandemic. And so we went over what stress is, the stressors, stress associated with COVID and working from home and other aspects. We had an intervention talking about mental health and mindfulness and meditation and how it can help. And then there was a space for people to share their experiences and for people to share their insights and have a little bit of a debate and a little bit of a Q&A situation. And I was listening to other people share their experience, very negative, very focused on the negative. Obviously, it was a webinar about the stress. So what else can you say, right? And I was thinking about my experience with COVID, the pandemic, and all of the things that have been going on. And I felt like I had something positive to share. And I felt like my contribution possibly wouldn't be very welcomed amongst all of those people that were having such a very bad experience and was sharing such bad experiences. So I sat quiet for quite a lot of time, like half an hour. I sat quiet listening to other people, and that thing, just something in me was just building, and I said, okay, I need to share. But before I go over what I shared, I want to say even other things, because now when I start sharing, I start sharing. So I have been not very consistent on my podcast. Probably you've noticed. If you've noticed, that means that you're following for a few, quite some time, I would say. So thank you. If you didn't notice, that's okay as well. If this is your first episode, stick around. Listen to the other ones, the previous ones. Listen to the upcoming ones. I have a very exciting one coming up. So definitely stick around. Um, but I haven't been uploading a lot, and especially on social media as well. I haven't been uploading on Instagram or anywhere else because I felt in a way that my message, it's too, almost like too mainstream. It's almost like all or nothing. I sometimes I think that no one else is experiencing the same things, and so I shouldn't be talking about it because no one else cares. Or it's almost like everyone is experiencing the same, so everyone knows my insights already for themselves, and they don't need to hear it from me. So no bother even sharing. And this is a misconception because everyone can benefit from my message the same way that I can benefit from their message. I have learned a lot of things over and over again, which is the best way to learn, by the way, is by repetition. And I've learned best not only because it was repetition, but it was because um, through a lot of different mentors and a lot of different people that shared the same knowledge. That is, I wouldn't say basic knowledge, but it is knowledge that everyone can access. And they've just shared it in different ways. So I got different messages and I got different key points from each person that it was important for me to have listened through them. And so there is that. I haven't shared a lot of my insights because I felt like they didn't matter so much. And this was me playing small and selling myself short. Is that a thing? Selling short? I don't know. You get my point. And so I felt like it didn't matter. And it was, why bother? Why come and record an episode and just talk to the phone or the microphone? And it hasn't, people cannot get anything out of it. But then I realized, I'm sure that a lot of people feel the same way about this, how I am feeling. So I know that I benefit from other people talking about their struggles, talking about their experiences, what they've learned, what they haven't learned, what they want to learn. So I know that I love this type of episodes where people just chat, and they go off tangents and they talk a lot like I am doing right now. So this is what I enjoy. And if it's not what you enjoy, that's okay. If this is what you enjoy, keep listening. And so all of this to say that I haven't been sharing as much as I would like to because somehow I feel like it doesn't matter. That's the point. The truth is for someone that cares, it will matter. And that is precisely why I felt like I needed to share my insight on that webinar. Because a lot of people were saying that working from home was very challenging for them, and they had people go through bad times with relatives having COVID and having difficult situations, layoffs, and all of these other stressors around the pandemic. And I felt like I needed to share my insight that basically was, okay, you know what? The pandemic has some positive to it. And I decide to not listen to the news. And I know that if something really bad goes down in the world, I will know. If something really goes bad with my family, I will know. So I decide not to listen to the news because I need to protect my energy. And this is not something about being selfish. It's something that you are being protective of your own self. And that is self-care. And so that's exactly what I said. I said there are ways of meditating. Meditating has been helpful for me, even if it's not a formal meditation practice, is an active meditation practice during the shower where we just have 5 minutes to relax for a bit. And I was trying to pull this positivity around COVID that was, to me, I've had a lot of negatives, everyone has. But my experience has been because I have been forced to stay at home, I have been forced to not go out and distract my mind, I had to get to know myself to the T. I have to find my likes, my dislikes. I spent a lot of time in my own head. So I got a chance to get to know my thoughts. I got a chance to get to know my patterns, change the patterns that were not serving me, find new hobbies, things that I enjoy doing, ditch out other hobbies that I didn't like. And so it has been a learning process and it has good stuff to it. And that is what I felt like I needed to share. And then I had this lady saying, I don't think it was directed to me, but she said, oh, this positivity, we have to let people feel what they feel. And I agree completely. I know that at the beginning of the pandemic, I was stressed. If I let myself think too much and if I get drawn by this media, if I get to think that I'm not going to be able to see my family in a very long time, if I get to think that I'm not going to travel, if I get to think that people might be getting sick, all of these things, if I get my mind to go down that path, I know that I will be depressed. So that is why I actively and consciously choose to protect my energy as much as I can by not listening and seeing any news, watching any news. And then by doing practices that I know help my mental health and that I know help my overall positive mood. It's not positive every day. And it's when I was telling a coaching client of mine today that what I was teaching her, the tools that I was teaching her and sharing with her were not something that would solve all of her problems, in the sense that she would never, ever, ever feel sad or ever feel imposter syndrome or ever feel fear or ever feel any type of quote unquote negative emotion, because that is impossible. That is absolutely impossible. What I teach is tools, or are the tools that can help you cope with stress, can help you cope with feeling anxious and feeling burnt out. So that is the tools that you can use to cope with in those moments and allow yourself to feel better. And you create that moment for yourself instead of you being a victim to your circumstances and to your reality. You create your reality. And it is very powerful when you understand that you can give yourself the permission and you can validate your own emotions and your own thoughts. And when this lady was saying that we have to feel what we feel, and it doesn't matter if we want to cry, we cry. There's not this positivity, this toxic positivity, she said. And I completely agree. We have to feel what we have to feel. And also stop judging what it is that we are feeling. If it's bad, if it's good. It's just energy. The feelings, the emotions, the thoughts, they are just energy. And that energy is neither good or bad. It's just energy. And validating our own thoughts and our own emotions and feelings, that is what is really what is going to give us the power. And that is what is going, oh my god, what is up with me? I can't speak. That is what is going to give us the confidence, because you are confident when you are in charge of yourself. And when you are in charge, when you are in control, you are creating your reality, you are creating your emotional state, and you are showing up to the world that way. It's almost like you glow. It's almost like people feel your energy. And maybe that lady was feeling almost attacked by my energy, my positive energy that I actively choose to have a positive energy because it's not something that comes natural. Maybe nowadays, in this day and time, what comes natural is fear. What comes natural is stress, is doubt, is uncertainty. That is what comes natural, because that is what we are being fed every day. And so what is unnatural, and is something that you need to do every single day when you wake up, is boost your positivity and actively and consciously think good things and higher your vibration. And that is something that you do using these tools that I teach my clients. And maybe that lady hasn't realized the power of these tools, because they seem something very easy to do, and they seem very simple, in the way that, oh, it's almost like if you don't do it, it doesn't really matter, because it's just something so small and so simple and so practical that it won't have a big impact. But what my client said to me was that just within 1 week, she got the results, in the sense that she was feeling less stressed. She would, whenever she was getting stressed, she recognized it, and she would stop herself and apply those tools and apply those coping mechanisms, and she would be able to reverse her state, so she wouldn't go down the spiral of stress, and just releasing that energy and those hormones that makes us sweaty, makes us just I don't know, just I don't even know how to say it in English, but it's just, I'm sure you know the feeling. And it's just having that self-awareness. And today she was asking me, how can I have more confidence? And just said, you know what, confidence comes from within. No one is going to give you the confidence. No one is going to say, here, you get to feel confident today. It's you that decide, and it's an active choice. The same way that applying these tools is an active choice, you get to decide when you are confident, in which situations, how you are confident, and how you show up to the world. And a lot of confidence comes from validating your own thoughts and speaking up for what is true to you, even though people might not understand you, even though people might just not agree with you. But if it is your truth, that is what you should say. And that is what will come more natural to you, that will come more just better and feel better. And that is what's going to make you feel confident, and it's going to make you feel better about yourself, hence better about the world, and feeling like you belong, and feeling like you don't need anyone's approval, because you have your own. And you do that with a lot of practices of gratitude and self-love. Create a routine where you focus on connecting your mind to your body. Maybe you do some stretches in the morning or at night. You do something that gets you a little bit out of your mind and gets you to raise that body awareness and that mind awareness, that connection that you have. And also, I would even say, think how you can give yourself more love. Whatever you think you need from people, their attention, if you need people to listen to you, if you need people to praise you, if you need people to be there for you, you know what? You can be there for yourself. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, no, you don't need no one in the world. You can go to an island and survive, because no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, absolutely, you can get other people's opinion. You can get other people's approval even. But you get to do that for yourself first. You get to be that person that is your best cheerleader. You get to be that person that supports you, that praises you, that says good things to you, that motivates you, that inspires you, that is your best friend. You get to be that person. Because I'm telling you, if you are not that person, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many people want to fill in that job for you. You won't value it as you should, because there's no way that place is going to be fulfilled by someone else. It has to be you first, and then there is space for people. It is a completely full overflowing mug situation. It's not like you're putting off from what's that saying, you're putting from a empty cup. Yours has to be overflowing. And it's not being selfish. This is something that I was talking, I can't even remember who I was telling this about, but it's the idea of, it's not being selfish when you are just filling your cup first, and then when it's overflowing you can share with people. Because it is very selfish if you're serving them first and you're not serving yourself. And by not serving yourself, you will create stress for yourself. You will create strained relationships. You will create problems at work. You will create financial issues. And all of this, that is being selfish. That is being selfish. It's not taking a bath, or it's not journaling, or it's not meditating, or it's not taking half an hour per day to exercise. That is not being selfish. What is being selfish is you not putting yourself first, because when you're not putting yourself first, you're allowing people to walk over you, or to even get other problems that you would be able to not have if you were to prioritize yourself. uh, oh my god, that went deep very fast. I think that was my message for today. My message is really to allow yourself to speak your mind when you feel like you should speak your mind. And when you listen to that little voice saying, oh, it doesn't matter, no one really cares, that's okay. Do it for yourself. I'm doing this episode for myself as a reminder, because when I say things out loud, it just gets in my brain. And so hopefully it helps you too. Hopefully you can relate. If you don't relate, that's okay as well. We're all friends. So have a lovely day. I will see you next time. Connect with me on Instagram at Coach Joana Calado. Go to my website, mindfulintrovert.com. Connect with me all over. I would love to know your opinion on speaking up, on sharing your insights, validating your own emotions. I will also share more inspiration on my Instagram, so check it out. And if you're looking forward to have a more one-to-one guidance on how to have more self-worth, how to validate yourself better, and how to be more confident, and how to be this person that really puts yourself first and doesn't feel the guilt or the shame behind it, definitely connect with me. Send me a DM and I will let you know all the details for my coaching program, my one-on-one coaching program that has been getting a lot of results for a lot of women. So this is something that, if you're interested, would really benefit you. So yes, I guess that is it, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.